write it. Joe will write it.
Welcome to the Cowboys UNcovered. We're back. The boys are back. How y'all fellas doing?
What's up, man? Glad to talk some Cowboys again. It's been a minute. We're about to head into the summer where there's no football action at all, but thankfully we have the crown jewel of the offseason, the draft.
That's right. It's draft season. It's draft month. Ready to talk some Cowboys. The board looks different. We had a trade recently that shakes things up. We'll get to that, but let's just hop right into it.
All right. Well, we're going to jump into this thing. Cowboys pick 12, and we'll go ahead and get this thing started. Cam Ward goes number 1, and I believe I saw Travis Hunter went number 2. Shadur Sanders to the Giants. Armand Membu to the Patriots. We got Abdul Carter, then Ashton Jeanty to the Raiders at 6. Will Campbell, Ted McMillan, Matthew Golden, nice. And Mason Graham and Jahdae Barron. Another hook 'em for you. So, yeah, we're sitting here with
Graham
some options.
10, and Matthew Golden went 9. This is I feel like we're wiped out, like to a point where I have a player in mind, but what do y'all think?
So, I mean, yeah, we didn't get Ashton Jeanty, and we did not expect Matthew Golden to be gone at 9 and Ted to be gone. Like, we expect Ted to be gone, but Matthew Golden gone also.
And Barron has been my fourth guy too. So
it's basically either trying to get a Mecca Ibuka, or maybe you go Tyler Warren, because I like getting some help for the offense, and Warren can also help in the run game with the new coaching staff. But you have been big on Tyler Booker, man. So it's like one of those things where if we still want to help protect that come back from injury, there's still some guys left.
I think if you don't take an offensive lineman, you got to go defense.
Yeah, I think what I would do here, and what I think is a smart organization move, maybe not one that I personally want to do, is take your corner out of Michigan here. And the reason I say that is because Barron was my number 4 guy. Like, it was like Jeanty, Tet, Matthew Golden. I didn't think any of the Will Campbell would fall or anything. So replacing Barron with Will Johnson here, the reason I would do it is because the makeup of this draft, you've got corners at the very top, you've got tackles at the very top, and they are really hard to find after like round 3. And I found myself, every time you don't address corner in the first 3 picks, you have really a prospect, like a true a guy who's going to have to probably sit most of the year at corner. And who knows what's going to happen with Diggs? Day 1, we need another guy. So that's what I think.
All right, Joe, how you feeling? I mean, you want to go defense with the first pick?
There's just so many good defenders up there. I don't see a ton of offensive linemen here in the top 10 best available. So I think Banks is up there.
Oh yeah, you could definitely make a play at Banks here. It's funny because he was number 4 prospect a month ago. He was number 10, and now he's number 20.
Yep,
same guy.
Simmons is up there too. So just depending on what position in the line you want to go after, but I'd be down for drafting, even Jahdae Campbell.
Yeah, I like the idea of a Mecca because you really want that piece there, but the only positions that have pieces later in the draft are receiver and running back. And it's like, if we lose Tet and Golden, which I don't think is going to happen, but if we lose both those receivers, I don't really want to settle for Ibuka, even though he's a good player. But I think I would go with Will Johnson. He was a number 1 corner prospect last year. He just kind of had a rough dealing with injuries and things like that.
All right, let's do it. It's not like we have no questions there. So,
sure.
All right, Will Johnson, let's go.
Replacing, Jordan Lewis is gone. Getting another Michigan DB in there. I like that.
Okay.
Hey, and we traded for a corner. I don't know that he's going to do anything.
That we did trade for a corner, but
All
And
right, so
offseason, you thought couldn't get any better. We traded for a quarterback as well. We can talk about that later.
We will.
now that we got that test out of the way, we're back on the clock because that was just one round.
Oh
Let's
no!
see if we
That's so funny.
and he
That was
goes
such,
right in front of us.
that was such a weird. Oh my god! And Golden's gone again.
Oh, do we have to reset the clock?
No, I mean, look, this has happened
All
to
right.
me and Dave before on the show.
Well,
So,
check this out.
guys, we reset it. Will Johnson actually gets sniped by us from the San Francisco 49ers. So,
Scramble drill here. Like now we're
James
even
Pierce
more
Jr.
wiped out.
James Pierce Jr.
how's
I
that
like
even
that
possible?
Man,
Jimmy goes
I
at
almost
4?
feel
Are
like,
you kidding me?
man, I feel like maybe reaching for that tackle. God, those
Kelvin
some
Banks?
good players.
Well,
I
Matthew
don't know if
Golden. No, Matthew Golden's here.
Oh, Golden's
in this
there.
spot.
Okay, I would take Golden here. And
Yeah.
I would
Okay.
feel good about
So,
it.
all right, we're guys. Crisis averted. We got our receiver. We got the compliment to CeeDee Lamb. It was
I like
crazy
that.
to see him go at 9 in that last one, man.
That is-
crisis averted. We got
Man, I did
saved.
So you have
several
a
mocks
Sooner
today.
and a Longhorn as your number 1 and 2.
Big 12 back
great.
together again.
Yeah, Golden doesn't usually go at 9. All right, so we're on second round. On to the second round. Pick 44. And is this too early for running back? Are we trying to go to defense here? I still don't love getting linemen late. We can see who's available.
Yeah, there's
okay.
some
Ursary
guys.
is good.
I like about half those guys as starters this year. This is a general statement of
So
the
we've
10
got
guys
wide
left.
receiver out of the way. Not going tight end here. I'm just going to take a quick look at running back just to see. We've got Quinshon Judkins, Travion Henderson, both there. Our picks.
I feel pretty good about that.
We
running
got
back.
the 76 pick after this in the third round. I like a lot of guys here.
Me too.
We do not have to go running back here.
Yeah, I think that point I made for corner kind of holds up here too. Here's where there's still some corners in the second round, but they all kind of
Savon Ravel.
Siobhan Ravel. I did a little looking at these two guys since I've been talking about corners this whole show anyway. Siobhan Ravel, you're going to get a more dynamic, athletic guy, and then with Hairston, you're going to get a little less athleticism, but with maybe a little bit more a scheme fit. Like he's kind of better at multiple things, where Siobhan is more physical, kind of as his dominant trait. So that's the difference between them from my point of view. And I think you'd flip a coin. I don't know how to make the decision there. If I was gonna, Trey Amos is there. Jesus Christ.
Yeah,
I'd take Trey.
Yeah, I think he's already recovered from his offseason injury at the Senior Bowl, so he'd be a solid pick.
Yeah, I think there's actually
defense.
a bunch of guys here I would like.
I think we go defense. We win offensive, perfect. I know
Okay.
we need to get our offensive linemen too, but I just see so many good defensive guys.
Yeah, I like Trey Amos. I like Prince of You as well. So, since we were trying to get cornerback last time, I say between Amos and Ravel.
Yeah, and what do y'all think? I mean, Amos has had the higher stock the whole run here.
Yeah, I would go
these
Amos.
three guys are all
here.
pretty good. I
He's
think
more
Amos is the
proven
best.
being an SEC player versus East Carolina. So I would go with the bigger school guy.
All right, we're locking it in. Trey Amos. Hopefully, we get your teammate later. We'll see. All right, I saw Judkins go off the board. Oh, Higgins, man, a lot. Oh, Henderson's gone. He went to the Bills. Oof,
We might have to
sorry.
get
All right, so we're back on the clock. Pick 76. And let me scroll so you guys can take a look at this.
Here's where
I like
things
Mimbo.
change a little bit. Yeah, me too. I looked at Trapillo. He's 6'9". I still didn't really realize how tall Ozzy Trapillo is. I did a little looking around at these guys.
6'9" is insane.
Or 6'8", whatever. But I think neither of these guys are going to be like great flexes to guard because they're both very giant, tall people. And I don't think it translates as well as some of these like Kelvin Banks might fit right into guard. But I do like the picking up a prospect there in this round at tackle. But there's a lot of guys behind him, right behind him, that are compelling as well.
I mean, typically, if you're a tall offensive line like that, you're going to want him to be a mauler. I don't know if this guy's a mauler. I need to do a little more research, but
This is a Missouri guy, right? Or no,
Yeah.
no. I'm sorry. Is he Missouri?
Boston College.
Boston College. My
Was
bad.
he?
I was thinking of the other guy.
Yeah. All right, let me get back. Okay, so I don't know. I'm good with any tackle. Period. Like Dak needs some help. Guys coming off an injury, and we've lost. To retirement. Zach Martin, obviously. So for me, I'm good with any of these top tackles here. And then our next pick, just so we're keeping track, is not until the 5th round. So, we have to not address running back till later. I think we can get some guys.
Or defensive line.
We only have 2 5th-round picks now. We just traded one, obviously, for Joe Milton. So
let's just talk about that for a second. So we traded for a quarterback. Now, typically, previously, we actually took quarterbacks in the late rounds, last couple picks. We don't really need to do that here. Maybe the last pick, depending on who's available, but that does change the dynamic of this draft.
I don't see, like, is Ewers gone already?
Well, I mean,
like, I'm just okay.
He's gone on. He's not gone on here, but
the thought would be take one of these young guys and have a situation where you might have a guy that's worth, a first, second round pick or something like that. But that's only if you get super wiped out.
Look at the board. You have deep playoff run QBs there. Will Howard, the national champion. Riley Leonard played him in the national championship. We saw Dylan Gabriel play in the playoffs, and then Ewers as well. Yeah. So these are really, really solid QB prospects right here.
Yeah, and there's the guy from Indiana too, of course.
They made the playoffs.
But I think tackle is the smart pick, and I really don't know how to choose between these two guys. So I would say just take the one that is ranked higher.
Yeah, we'll go with Trapillo here, and I'm feeling good about our chances.
9 mother effer, dude.
Yeah, I like an offensive lineman named Ozzy too.
Yeah, I can't hate. But we're gonna be glad that we picked that lineman later in the draft when there's absolutely nothing there.
There's gonna be a steal at running back. I think it's a lock. But man, that's a long wait. This wait's gonna be a lot longer in real life. And guys, just so you know, today's episode has been brought to you by Fast Draft. Go ahead and go to draftfaster.com. Use promo code Alex and get $50 match on your first deposit there. And you can actually go ahead and start doing drafts with these rookies right now for real money. If you think you know who's going to be good this year, go ahead and start drafting faster over at draftfaster.com. And we are back on the clock. So those quarterbacks we were just talking about, they're still here. We're going to running back. And so Jordan James is a must draft at this spot, I think.
I totally agree.
He was tested very athletically at the combine. And Trevor Etienne, we know his brother.
I will say that the Cowboys did talk to Taj Brooks. They brought him in to the Star and talked to him in person. So that is someone who's actually on their radar in reality.
Right. Yeah, he came in for a Dallas visit.
Yeah. Okay. So, yeah, and he's out of Texas Tech, so he's not too far away. Okay, so Jordan James.
I would like Jordan James here, though.
I'll just pull this up. See.
I'm with you.
Okay, then we don't have to spend too much time on the pick. Go ahead and lock it in. Really good running back, and he's got good numbers. You can see 90 PFF grade in 2023, 86 in 2024. The guy tested really athletically, so I'm definitely good with the pick. Welcome to the Cowboys, Jordan James.
Man, we really got kind of wiped out there too. There should have. I mean, Devin Neal
That's
wasn't there.
that might be how it goes, though, Dave.
Yeah, it might. Be, I know. And Travis Hunter might
Yeah.
fall to us.
Shut up.
It's possible.
Yeah, and just so you guys can see, this is a little closer shot on Jordan James here. 5'10". He's only 21 years old, 210 pounds. This is a great BMI for a running back. It's really good production. And I mean, this is a guy where he could be plug and play right into the Cowboys offense. I don't think he would have any issues at all being able to produce right away. And I mean, he showed it in college that he could do it. So, everyone's going to have a really big question about who's our running back going to be. I mean, this guy had 1,200 yards this past season, 5.4 yards per attempt. So, added 15 touchdowns to that and a little bit in the receiving game, 26 receptions there. So definitely a guy I think we would love to have on the team.
Yeah, and
So,
think about what we did instead, right? We took that tackle, right? So,
yeah,
I think that's the better
I
way
think
to
that's a
build.
steal.
Yeah.
So right now we've got Matthew Golden, Trey Amos, Ozzie Trapilo, and Jordan James.
I feel good about this.
Yeah. All right. So we're back in the clock in the 5th round. Kyle Williams. This is the guy who's been kind of the biggest story of the week. He's on Chris Sims' annual wide receiver rankings as his number 2 overall wide receiver. Someone you at least got to take a look at. And I mean, at this late, I would be taking him.
Let's drill down, if you wouldn't mind.
Yeah, and I don't know if y'all saw that, but
I'm thinking a backup
it's
would
being
be
really circulating all over the place right now.
I didn't see that, but I think linebacker is going to be on the minds of the front office here. But I don't. If this guy is a legit prospect, I would actually, But I can totally see the Cowboys taking a linebacker here, and Stutzman's there. But
we need an edge player, linebacker, hybrid of sorts.
Yeah, is there a defensive tackle? Like, did we get? We didn't get one of those yet, did we?
No.
So
yeah, we're.
I mean, in the 5th round, we're always going to be asking, is this person actually going to be able to contribute? So, do we think there's any DTs in this range that can actually help? I think everyone loves Tonka just because of the name.
Yeah, I don't know.
I like the Hellman Scout.
Ingram the Cowboys
Dawkins.
like Taco.
Yeah,
maybe because of the name. That did
we've drafted Stutzman before.
I mean, he was he's a decent prospect. He's not a. I don't think he would start, obviously. But I don't see any defensive linemen here. I mean, there was one or two.
Just Tim Smith.
That's concerning. We should definitely make sure we get defensive line help. But that's how this draft's going to go, man. Especially if we don't have a 4th round pick, Jerry Jones. I mean,
see Jake Majors still down there, center.
Yeah, and he'll be there in a couple picks too.
I mean,
some people have been double tapping running back. I don't know. Like, we probably need to. The running back room is pretty thin, but if I just look by position, like what's available.
Can you click on edge?
Yeah.
Okay.
This is the guy I was talking about earlier.
Yeah.
When I was saying Hellman Scouting is probably last.
Hey, everyone loves little Johnny Walker.
Yeah. Okay,
I can see. I mean, and then the defensive tackle or interior defensive line.
Yeah, let me see. All right, so Tonka, Tim Smith, Jr., Tafanu.
I might just look at the fattest, the guy that weighs the most.
Biggers is the biggest one left. Like
320. Yeah, that's huge.
And, I forgot who's.
What's Tonka's size?
Tonka, maybe Tonka's the bigger.
Oh,
give me a bigger.
He's
Tonka,
288.
please.
He's smaller.
That's a little light in the
Tim
pants.
Smith. Yeah, I think Biggers is the biggest left.
I like Tim Smith coming out of Alabama, but I can't say I can discern between the two. So my first instinct was the
Going
biggest
bigger.
guy.
We've taken him
Go
before.
big guy.
All right, and then a couple picks in the 6th, and then the 7th rounds where we got that bonus pick. So here's where I would say, sure, we could take a Jake Majors just to get a center of the future.
Right now, we're going best available, I imagine.
Yeah. And is it linebacker here?
Yeah.
Or take Jay Higgins?
Yeah, we can go Jay Higgins. We need a little more help on defense.
Yeah, I think
And
they
then,
need a body
Majors
that's
is
ready
there.
to.
The next pick, we might go with Majors. Okay, Majors goes.
Yep.
Our classic favorite Luke Lachey is available.
Lachey.
Lachey.
Actually, Luke Lachey's a baller.
All right.
I don't
okay,
see anybody that I'm excited about.
No,
Obviously.
so I'm thinking. Yeah, and this is the round where we were taking our quarterbacks before. So I'd say since we didn't get Majors, maybe we go Frazier here just as
I like that
eye
idea.
on the
I like
line.
that idea. That's a good one.
Get a SEC. How big is this guy?
325. So
I mean,
6'5". He's got some
6'5".
size.
6'5", 325 SEC guard.
Classic guard. Yeah.
I can vibe with that.
All right, and this is where we got our bonus pick. Can't remember if it was this pick or the later ones. Anyway, I would say let's go ahead and just grab some guys here, and then we can jump back into kind of another scenario that we've been looking at.
Just look for some positions we didn't take yet. Maybe
I'll go Craig Woodson here. No, I'll go Clemson's R.J. Mickens, and just to get us some safety help there, and then
maybe look at QBs now.
I mean, Will Greer, it sounds like he's got it locked up when I was listening to the coaches.
I mean, this
third
pick
spot.
is maybe now we get our Johnny Walker. You can hang with that.
The wrong one. Okay, so we'll go. We already have a tackle, yeah, but we'll take a late Xavier Truss. Okay, so we got our draft in. Boom. And so what was the scenario that you were trying to get into next, Dave?
I think taking corner first with Barron. If we get wiped, I mean, we don't know what's going to happen. Let's just see what happens, because I think you can't wait on tackle and corner. Because we kind of need them both.
All
and
right,
then wide receiver and running back you can kind of wait on, and we waited on defensive line, and I think we're okay with that big body, So now is it always going to go the way you want? I don't know. They just pay me to look good.
Cowboys back on the clock, pick 12, and got Malachi Starks available.
I say we don't even think about
it. Will Johnson, yeah, we tried to get him the first go round. Other than that, it's just some other receivers that we like, but might be able to get one later. So go Will Johnson
for sure.
All right, so I don't have to cut that part out. We got our Will Johnson. Go back to the beginning. That's kind of our reasoning why I definitely think this guy is a difference maker, and we've got some injuries to both sides of the field at the corner position. And here we go, pick 44.
Ooh, Xavier
Watts hasn't been here. We got to look at receiver Jaden Higgins. My number one receiver is actually Jalen Noel, but according to my Phenom Finder, my model that I have. But Trey Harris is a guy that I love, and I like the production he was able to put down. Highest yards per route run of the entire class. I mean, you don't even see this in most classes. 5.12. That's incredible. But Jalen Noel, this is a guy. He's got that dog in him, man, and he he may not be the taller of the two receivers at his school, but this guy, super athletic. He's the most athletic receiver in the class, and he's got hands, great contested catchability. I've seen him catch in between two other defenders while being tackled. That's a great player. I'm a big fan of Higgins. Restrepo, he kind of got downgraded with the 4.8 40-yard dash that he ran, I think, last week. So for me, at receiver, it's Noel Harris. If you want a big body, fine, give it to Higgins. I just like Noel's ability to get open.
Alex, I think if you go Noel, you might wait till next round. I mean, he could be there still.
Sure. All right, we can wait. All right, so let's look at some other positions. And I was just quickly looking at the running backs because if we want to try to get running back and receiver, this is the only chance to really. I mean, it depends on how you. I like Jordan James, so I'm good if we were to get Jordan James again later. It was one of the only guys left that I felt good about when we were there at that pick, though.
Yeah, but we're looking at starters here. If we can get this right,
if we walked away with Quinshon Judkins and one of these receivers, I'd be feeling pretty good.
Hell yeah, I think that makes sense. Whichever guy you like, Quinshon or Travion. I like Travion more early, but I think they're both fine. I don't really have a strong lean one way or the other now.
Yeah, Judkins tested really well. Highest broad jump of the class. Travion Henderson's, really fast, but I just feel a lot more confident about Quinshon Judkins' ability to just be that down in and down out workhorse back for us. So
I can see the Cowboys feeling that same way. So I think Quinshon's a good pick.
All right, Joe, final answer. Judkins?
Yeah, I like it.
And happy about it, man. This guy is a great player.
All right. So Higgins goes. Let's see.
Now let's look at some receivers.
Hope that one of them.
All right, Noel made it. Noel made it.
Nice, dude.
His teammate left. Harris is there too.
Oh wow!
Those Royals and Bond, for that matter.
In my opinion, we've done Trey Harris a bunch. But we also have always say we've done Trey Harris a bunch. So I feel like we've done both equally now.
It's been a while, but
guys, I say. Yeah.
Make sure you dive in deep on Noel. Like, not even deep. Just watch Noel.
I want to say it. Let's take Noel because I like your point there. Let's take Noel.
Yeah, we waited for him, right?
Yeah.
Let's draft him.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's pretty sick. Okay, so and again, Noel, that's my number one receiver of the class.
And those two guys, I really wish we could get them. I mean, those are both. It's funny that they both ended up right there.
Yeah, I would. If Travis Hunter becomes receiver full time, then I probably got him a little higher. Okay, so I saw a ton of running backs just go off the board there. We're back in the clock, 149, and so I'm glad we took our guy there. Just so y'all know, this is what would be left at running back. It's still the same kind of crop of guys. So
Jordan James, Taj Brooks still.
I just don't think in real life Jordan James will be there. Just with what I've been seeing. Anyway, so we've just to take a quick look at the picks we've taken here: Will Johnson, Quinshon Judkins, Jalen Knowles. So we got a cornerback, running back, wide receiver. These are some positions that we absolutely needed. So I'm feeling good about this. Not much help on the line in the trenches either side of the ball.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. We should see what's left.
Yeah. I think we've taken Cooper in the past. Let's see what's on defense. Man.
It's pretty bare.
Okay. So.
Yeah, I don't feel strongly. I don't want to sit here and try to make a point for some guy I took one time in a mock.
No. Yeah. So,
I was like, maybe Colby. I took him, taking him one time in a mock.
Okay, so yeah, all right. Then we'll go ahead.
What's Tyler Beatty's height weight? Kind of guy we're looking at here.
275, 6'5".
Kind of tweener for an edge guy. Actually, pretty big. I think I think there's some. Let's scroll down the edge list a little bit and see if we want to see if there's anybody down there like
Yeah.
one of those Texas guys.
Hmm.
Lockers still.
Cesaro and that
All
other guy
right.
are gone. It's rough.
Yeah.
Tough sledding down here.
Yeah, we've taken Joyner before. Okay, so let's make a call because it's 5th round here. We don't know who's actually going to hit. So we've got our main positions. No one spoke up. I'm taking Kyle Williams, double tapping at the wide receiver position. Like, check him out. I just put out 2 videos about Kyle Williams recently today. Actually, both of them
Nice.
today. Not from me, but I put them together. The guy can play.
We
All
get
right,
our
so
linebacker Stutzman again, but what do you think?
Stutzman, I mentioned it last time. We've taken him before, so I want to go Stutzman here. Not too far from where we're at, but the linebacker spot, I like the size and the production's okay, but solid most years. His best year was in 2022, tackle wise. So
he's a little. I think he's got the experience. He's got a bunch of snaps, and I think as a backup linebacker, a guy who played, I don't remember who's the captain or not, but I just think that's a good guy to have at the back end of your roster in case something horrible happens.
Boom. All right. So we're gonna fly through these 7th rounders, 6th rounders, I think. It's just so different now that we don't have to look at these quarterbacks anymore. So that really is nice.
I know. I'll tell you that's why it may be still beneficial to grab a guy if you've been looking at him this whole time thinking we're going to have to get one of these guys. You end up trading for Milton, but
so you don't feel
7th or
confident
6th round pick, no, I mean for a 6th or 7th round pick, I don't know the guy's going to make the team anyway. So if you like the quarterback, I can see them doing it. I'm not going to say they wouldn't, and it wouldn't be. Hell, make them compete against Milton. Maybe you find something.
Well,
it's much bigger upside than Biggers. Biggers.
Quarterback room right now is obviously pretty thin. So
Tyler Shook is the best option available, guys.
Yeah, I've heard some hype about him as a late round guy, and I would. Let's do it with this mock. Let's take a guy who he might have more value than any of the guys left.
I don't think anyone expected us to go quarterback here.
But now, that's could be value there.
All right, and then I would like to quickly look back here. So we got double tap at wide receiver. Do we? Yeah, I don't believe in trying to just worry too much about the line here. Like we have to make a free agent move or a trade or something.
Yeah,
Miles Frazier in the last one.
Well, here's to your point, Alex. I don't think the coaching staff wants to go into the season with that many more guys with 0 NFL snaps. Just because you acquire a bunch of late round draft picks through the compensation program, whatever we call it, doesn't mean you want to have that many guys on your team with no experience. So it just makes sense to trade some of those off for some guys. I think they, for as uneventful and as sometimes inept as they have been the past few off seasons, these last 2 moves to flip off these comp picks for players that have played and have more value than the guys we're looking at on the board here.
So that means you're predicting a draft day trade. We get rid of some of these later picks.
I think they already did. I think you're just maybe. I would say that every team is probably looking to see if they can get something for their late picks, right?
All right, I went ahead and took Frazier again. I feel good about that one. And did we get the linebacker? I think so. It was you got Danny Sussman. Okay, so
just finish us off, Alex.
Yeah, no safety. I can't take that school. We'll go Lachey here. Get a tight end potentially of the future. Feel like we've done good bringing up tight ends.
Yeah, we've had
Kinda
some bad luck
always.
with injuries, but they've been,
Yeah.
you know, if only they could have all stayed healthy at the same time.
All right. We're gonna take we're gonna
Jaquavius,
take the safety here. Yeah, we can take Jaquavius. I was gonna ask earlier if we should double tap the running back spot. I think so.
yeah,
The room
I
is
like
so
Jaquavius
depleted, so
for sure.
might as well. All right, and then that is the end of that round. I think
Gotta
we'll
be
get a
honest, I
much
kind
better
of felt
grade.
better about the first one.
We should get a much better grade this time because
You're probably right.
they have it. They're not fully updated. I don't think, man. Jordan James they didn't factor enough into that combine. I don't think. So yeah, Will Johnson, Quinshon Judkins, Jalen Noel, Kyle Williams, Danny Stutzman, Tyler Shuck, Miles Frazier, Luke Lachey, Craig Woodson, Jaquavius Marks, and that got us a B. Okay.
I think we've
All
had
right.
it's been so the draft ecosphere has changed so much in the past month, as it should. As these things kind of get tighter and tighter, and some guys, I mean, it's so hard to find contributors in the 5th and 6th round now. Where I felt very comfortable, like with some of our go-to guys that we've always taken, Alex, including Luke and Biggers, things like that. But even other guys that used to be down there that are just nowhere to be seen anymore.
Yeah. So I started another round, another mock draft. Back in the clock at pick 12. Will Johnson goes. So we've been able to work out a few different scenarios. Genty again goes at number 4 to the Patriots. This is actually the third time out
That's
of the
crazy.
4 iterations here. So
I can't believe they would actually do that's.
yeah,
I
we'll see what happens. But yeah, pretty crazy. Armand Membu been one of the biggest risers. Mike Green earlier was a big riser, but he's kind of just solidified his spot. But Membu's been a big riser, and but considered by some as one of the best tackles in the class. We haven't taken
Edge.
Edge or like
an
Jihad
offensive
Campbell.
lineman.
Oh, yeah, Membu
Yeah.
would be great. I would think. I like Membu at this pick.
I do
I
too.
don't
I
want to
can't.
injure Josh Simmons. Someone's going to take him and get a steal. That's great. A lot of times Membu's gone, so we'll settle for Kelvin Banks. But we've been taking Kelvin Banks a lot of times in our trade back scenarios. You got Matthew Golden here as well.
Yeah. It's funny because it's so much more difficult without a freaking 4th round pick, isn't it? It's crazy. Yeah. It's like the feeling that we're talking about here is because we don't have a 4th round pick. And I mean, I know that point has been beaten to the ground, but this draft was middle heavy, and it's just unfortunate.
So yeah, you want to go Membu here?
I think Membu is the best pick, but I'm open to going
Green
with an edge because we've had terrible luck getting good edges late. Now, not that we're going to get a
So
good tackle.
does Micah Parsons re-sign? That's a guarantee, right?
Yeah, that's a done deal. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. So
let's try it. I mean, we're not here to sit here and get an A every time, right? We're trying to look
Mike
at the
Green.
scenario. Like, what does the
All right.
scenario look like when you take Mike Green? And
yeah, we can get back to being a dominant defense and let the offense only have to worry about put up 21 points, and the defense will do the rest.
I mean, we took Parsons at 12, so I don't know.
There we
That's
go.
a pretty good reason. That's a good enough reason for me.
Yeah, there's like some character concerns with Mike Green at the moment. We'll see how that all shakes out off the field. But for now, we'll lock it in and move on to the second round, pick 44. Yeah, okay.
For me, I'm looking corner, and then I'm considering if we get a big body like maybe Shamar Turner.
Yeah, he's there.
Try to find a.
We can go Shamar.
We're building this draft a little differently here, and if you take Mike Green, and then you take Shamar Turner, you really flip that defensive line into a maybe the best unit on the team if you count Parsons in there, which is pretty cool. And you lost Tank, so I mean, you gotta address the scenario. What do you think?
Well, yeah, we lost Tank, but Didn't we sign? We signed Fowler, right?
We signed Fowler, that's true. But it was a 1-year deal. You know, this is an opportunity to get a guy for your squad. But yeah, it feels like if we don't take like offensive line, we're just not really going to get one here, which is okay too, because we can't get them all. Again, we're missing missing a pick that might be used for that. But
Yeah. All right. So yeah, we can go. I mean,
I
so
think
you
I'm
want
looking
corner?
at
Princely, you could be good.
yeah. I think Hairston, Ravel, or um, Princely. Those are all three. I would be equally happy with any of them. Although
All
actually
right.
not Princely. We just got that
Let's
edge.
go.
Sorry.
Let's go. Let's go. Savon. I did hear it's like a kind of French pronunciation. Like
Savon,
this H is silent. Well,
lead
yeah,
us into
we'll find
the.
out. If he makes some noise, we'll hear about it.
We'll know.
All
We'll
right.
know.
Welcome to
Put
the
some stank on
Cowboys.
it.
So we got
Stank
some
on it.
defense.
I think we would
All right.
be.
Let's see.
That's good.
All right, Turner just went. Okay. Inbounds here. So if we were to go tackle, then we could go running back later. We could also still do our receiver running back move from the last draft. Get a Trey Harris. Get a
I like the idea
running
of a
back
wide
later.
receiver here. Trey Harris is there. Your guy Noel's there. Tez.
Man, Jack Besh always goes. I keep hoping Jack Besh is waiting
Look
for it.
at what does running back look like right now?
You haven't been watching him. What's up?
What does running back look like right now? Do you think we can get
It
one?
was.
Probably not, right?
It was. So I like RJ Harvey a lot.
I do too.
He's great.
Blue, Basho,
Baishal
Fresh.
Tootin was the number one combine performer. Baishal Tootin was. Brashard Smith's one of my favorite guys. Converted wide receiver. I'm predicting him to be this year's Tyron Tracy out of the Giants, who was also a converted wide receiver.
You know what I like here? I like going. I think maybe RG Harvey. See, for some reason,
He's
we've
good,
we've
dude.
we've done this thing where we wait freaking 100 picks till.
Yeah,
And
you know
all the
your running
backs are
back's going to
gone.
be if you wait. I still agree with Joe here, though. I would go receiver over running back.
Okay, cool. Then I think we just go Trey Harris for a little parody.
Yeah.
Let's
Yeah,
get
if
it
not
done.
that, I would have taken like inbound to switch it up, but we went Ozzy the first round. So this is what it looks like. We get our third round receiver. There's still the receivers available. There was Jalen Noel. I will stand on the highest table and cape for this guy. He's gonna ball out. All right, Trey Harris. He produced as if he's gonna ball out. So let's see if it actually happens.
And the way that Trey Harris produced was cool. I mean, this guy.
Yeah.
This
Yards
would
after
be
catch
pretty
guy,
pretty
right?
bad
Yeah.
dude to bring onto the squad. I'd be pretty jacked. Jacked.
Yes, sir. Okay, so we've got Mike Green, Savon Ravel, Trey Harris. Now we're in the 5th round, and I'd say,
Running back, if we can.
yeah, take a look there, and
Ooh, Etienne's still there, but our guy Jordan James.
yeah,
and Taj
Etienne
Brooks.
is not better than James, that's for sure. But
Maybe,
it seems like we can wait on Jordan James though.
yeah, maybe we can pivot to what have we not taken? Can you recap? I know we got
Tackle. So we've
lineman.
got edge, Mike Green, Savon Ravel at cornerback, Trey Harris a wide receiver.
Got to go offensive lineman.
I think we do have to go offensive lineman. It's on
Emery.
Emery. I would probably just go Emery. I would consider Nelson. I like Wisconsin linemen too, but couldn't split the hairs between them.
Okay.
Let's just do it.
All right, Emery Jones,
Emery out of
still a raw
LSU.
player, but he'll get there hopefully. Okay, and then let's see. Could go Cody Simon. If you want to get a center for down the line, we can have him develop.
Oh yeah, we didn't get a linebacker, did we?
No, so that's the Ohio State line or the Ohio State linebacker. We should just roll with that.
I'm cool with that. Yeah.
The next Barbie Carpenter.
Ooh,
Exactly. Um,
brutal.
did we go running back? No.
No, we waited
Forgot
and we
about
got
that.
Taj Brooks. I think
All right, we're going Taj Brooks.
Yeah,
Right,
we
this is
made our
more
team
like
differently
reality.
here. We made our team
Going
differently
Taj Brooks.
here, and this is just another way to do it.
Yeah, it looks like Jordan James was gone in between our last picks anyway. Oh yeah, he was long gone. Okay. All right. So let's get Jake Majors. Welcome to the squad.
Bring him in.
And get to stay in Texas there. This is it looks like a traded pick from Tennessee. I don't know if this is the one, the Joe Milton one, but anyway, did we get our line? Yeah, we did. We got an Ohio State linebacker. Okay. Yeah, all right, we can go.
Maybe another
We go
defensive back. Maybe.
Teddy Buchanan. Yeah. All right, we'll go Teddy here out of Cal. And then just clean up here in the 7th round. Okay. Yeah, we'll go ahead and
Maybe
Eels.
wide
Wester's.
receiver.
I like what. Yeah, let's go Wester.
Yeah, I like that too.
One of my coworkers, he interviewed. Well, he was at the combine interview. Actually, most of these guys, but Wester, he had a good viral comment, and Deion Sanders ended up retweeting him, and he was pretty excited about that.
Hell yeah!
All
awesome.
right, but probably just trying to hype up this guy. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Got to get those recruits coming in, and Kyron Lacey would have been a decent one. Actually, as a late receiver.
Johnny
There's
Walker edge.
Jordan Hancock, a safety out of Ohio State, might be. I don't know if that
we
makes the
took
team,
Walker
but
last time, so we can go with that to wrap up the 3rd draft here. And yeah, that's it. A couple of different paths that we can go. You know, we only ended up taking quarterback one time. Pretty much all of our other mock drafts, we had to find some sort of answer. You got Dak coming off an injury, and we expect him to be healthy, but it's the 2nd season-ending injury out of 4 years, so you got to have some answer. And I'm glad that they did something with that trade. I don't mind the value at all to give up a 5th and get a 7th-round pick back plus a quarterback. So I'm good with that trade, and glad we don't have to focus on that on draft day and just kind of go in, focus on how do we help Dak and help the rest of this team.
Yeah, and at times they seem so locked in on this compensation operation they have going on, where they refuse to re-sign players to big deals, or refuse to bring in free agents. I mean, but because they do that, they get a little grease on the side with the compensation picks, and then they flip those for guys that they can get on multi-year deals, which is very cheap, But it's. I bet other teams are like, "Hey, I wish we had done that." Not that it's the best way to do it, but they were able to flip for some guys they needed to fill some holes.
Yeah. All right. Well,
so
we need to do a shot of the week. This week's shot of the week is going to Joe Milton, newest member of the Dallas Cowboys. Welcome to the squad.
yeah.
Squad. Hey, I got a question for y'all. A question for you guys. Who on this board? Let's say the first round. Like, who are we not gonna ever get that you guys would really like to get out of this set of prospects?
Abdul Carter would be my
Abdul.
number
Well,
one.
sure. Outside of the top 5.
Oh, come on.
Well, I mean,
And
we all
Barron.
want the top 5 guys.
Barron.
I think we have a chance at there. I'm taking more guys who are.
Nobody cares about Tyler Warren, but the thing is, I actually like Colston Loveland so much that it's like I just want to trade back. Like, can I trade back? But I guess it would be Genty because it doesn't look like he's in range. Before it was the Bears are going to take him, and now he's going even higher than that after that pro day workout where he's looking jacked up.
Yeah, I'm gonna go the other side of this thought is that I'm looking at the other the other column there,
Tyler
and
Booker.
Tyler Booker, but even more so, I think Kenneth Grant is going to be a monster
Ah,
defensive lineman, and it's just not worth a top 12 pick. But like, I just think if we could ever make it happen where we trade back and get like Kenneth Grant, like we would finally have that big hog molly there at the defensive tackle position that looks like he's going to be you know, a long-term starter. I'm not going to say he's like the greatest guy ever, but it looks like he's going to come in and hold his own right off the bat, which is hard to do at the one technique. And he looks ready to roll. He's gonna knock some lighter because the guards out there. There's some lighter guards out there. They're going to get thrown by this guy. And if he's on your team, you're going to be like, I'm glad we made that pick. And I just don't think there's any scenario where we get Kenneth Grant, unfortunately. And I'm okay with that, I guess.
yeah. So, any other? I mean, that was a great question. Any other like predictions for the draft coming up here? I'm thinking that at pick 12, Cowboys are. We know that that's going to kind of set the tone for the rest of the draft. Like if we go line, then we know that's like the whole identity of the coaching staff. They're getting their wishes there. And I feel like if we go receiver, that's more like the fan base is getting what they want. Same with if it's Genty, I'm actually good with Genty to be honest, but I don't see too many people just being all in on defense because there's still some hope for a lot of our guys. It's just the injuries are so crazy that like I totally get why you've been pushing for defense so hard because we have guys and they're all injured. So
yeah, we might have seen the last of a good Trayvon Diggs. Now,
yeah.
Maybe not. Maybe I'm sure they're thinking that too. So like, they're privy to more information than we are, but they didn't seem too happy about his progress at the end of the year.
Yeah. Yeah. I mainly just want to see a trade back. If Genty's not there, if like every time Tet has been gone, half the times Matthew Golden's gone. So
I mean, I was pulling my hair out these mocks because these are the ones that are like perfect trade back mocks because we lost like both receivers once. We lost, it just didn't really quite work out for us. But
yeah, I'm hoping that we get a Jackson Dart to go up into the top 10. Somehow, some way, we need some kind of a.
We need some
We need
insurance.
the Giants to make a reach.
A reach at 3. I don't think it's. I don't even know how they.
I think you mean to take Shador's or something like that. I guess they're already doing that,
Yeah, they probably are. I don't know.
But
he's going to be in the top 10 no matter what. I need someone outside of the top 10 to get reached
right.
on.
Good call. That's the right point. I think. My prediction. I think we all agree that if we get wiped out, trading back is the best way to go. But I can see the Cowboys. They've just, and I'm talking about Jerry Jones and Stephen Jones, they've just horse traded just enough to maybe think that they're just going to stand pat and not give up any extra capital because they do it every year. They went out and got guys who have played snaps who are on, cheap deals and they fill all the holes, and of course Jerry said we didn't have any holes or whatever that was. But I think that making that trade for the quarterback really helped not have to worry about that because, like you said, every mock we were doing before, we were targeting a quarterback there, and now they don't have to, and they can get maybe their running back. Maybe they've always wanted to wait on running back, and now they can.
Yeah, let's just drill down on Joe Milton. Maybe take a look at some clips. Obviously, we know that he's got a cannon for an arm, right? But the Dallas Cowboys were his preferred destination. There were 5 other teams that were interested in him: the Raiders, the Eagles, the Giants, the Steelers, probably a couple others. But he wanted to come to Dallas, so that makes me feel really good. Just coming off a rookie season, got some playing time, put some stuff on film that we actually, could take a look at, and that's probably what got them interested just based off of those highlights alone. Not to mention his combine last year. We got a couple of clips I'm hoping we can pull up, but I think this is one of the more clever trades that the Cowboys have done this entire offseason.
Yeah, I think they have to always be going for this type of thing. They just have had trouble pulling it off. They've maybe they've finally gotten better at figuring out the compensation picks. It's not to have a bunch of guys picked in the 5th round. It's to flip them, right? I think that makes a lot of sense, and they did it twice. And people around the league think it's whatever. I think everybody who's in the know on roster construction thinks that those are good moves to make. Now, you only had the ability to do that by not signing free agents, so we'll see if they pulled it off. A certain team in our division doesn't give two craps about that kind of thing, and they are pretty good. So
Yeah, well, I'm personally pretty excited about it. I think
Yeah.
Dak Prescott will make him a better quarterback in the long run, and we need that guy to put pressure on Dak.
yeah,
Will Greer
for
is
sure.
not that guy.
I think earlier we talked, or I'm not sure where I heard this point, but talking about how maybe this isn't a better backup than Cooper Rush per se, but that's only because of the system that they had in place to build a Cooper Rush. And I think the best way to replace him is to know what he was limited at, target it, and go get a better version for cheaper. And then I think Cooper Rush got $5 or $6 million or something. It's not worth it. Good on you, Cowboys. You did something good. I think we give a round of applause.
Yeah. I don't know who
Good
pulled
on
that
you.
trigger, but it's nice going into draft day knowing that we got kind of an established guy, someone who's played at the pro level and had a little bit of success in the limited time that he played.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go. Like just
what other
some
storylines?
of the
I'm
combine
thinking
highlights right here. Just throwing bombs out here. Just incredible.
Wow.
It's exciting. It's exciting to have that level of athlete at quarterback.
Boom.
And it bodes well for the team's roster construction in the long run. So I think if they continue to do that and win, which has been the trouble, is they've been kind of doing this, but they don't know that they haven't really figured it out. But this is a good move, and sucks for Will Greer. Good luck, brother.
Yeah, Will Greer, he'll be fine. He knows he's never going to be a starter.
Didn't he have that 5 touchdown game? Is that's the same guy, right? With the Jets?
I think you might be right.
He had a career game. Good for him, And everyone was like picking him up in fantasy.
Yeah, here's some more from Milton.
Yeah, this is actually in a real NFL game.
Yeah, last game of the season that he won. He was putting on the show, so that was his audition tape.
And how about a player who wanted to come to the Cowboys that actually made it here?
That's what I'm saying, man.
Isn't that the storyline? The storyline is always they want to be a Cowboy, but they just say that because they get more money elsewhere. And now here's a guy said he wanted to be a Cowboy, and now he's a Cowboy.
Yep. Yeah, turned down, I guess, some other trade, or I guess the team respected his wishes on another trade. And
it was really
from him. It was great. It's a blessing come true. Milton said of the trade. That is something that me and my team talked about and was able to get done with the Cowboys. So it's just a blessing to be here. I'd love to hear that.
Deep shot. Dang. Boom.
Awesome. Well, guys, it was great to do this again. It's definitely a different dynamic with this. So it's kind of cool to be able to do this and kind of see how things could maybe play out. There's a lot of different scenarios that could happen.
Yeah,
yes, sir.
And we have other storylines to look forward to in the future. We're going to see what Brian Schottenheimer does as a first-time head coach. But this draft thing has got me jacked up. We're in draft month. We are just a few weeks away, dudes. Let's go.
Yeah. All right. Well, appreciate you guys. Go ahead and like, subscribe. Cowboys Uncovered over at Uncovered NFL. And we will see you guys in the next one. Peace.
Go Cowboys.
Go Cowboys.
Write it, Joel, write it.